कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवर धारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवर धारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Everybody. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Jai Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jayo Subhadrama. Jai Radha, Govind Radha, Govind Radhe. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समस्त वैष्णव वृंद की, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone for daily Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 21, Text 6. Say. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarva Bhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vraja Istriya Sarva Varanyante O Abhire Bhire. Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarva Bhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vraja Istriya Sarva Varanyante O Abhire Bhire. Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarva Bhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vraja Istriya Sarva Varanyante O Abhire Bhire. Thank you. Yes, Prabhus. Iti Venuravam Rajam Sarva Bhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vraja Istriya Sarva Varanyante O Abhire Bhire. Shrutai Venuravam Rajan Sarva Bhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vraja Istriya Sarva Varanyante O Abhire Bhire. Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarva Bhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vraja Istriya Sarva Varanyante O Bhire Bhire. Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarva Bhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vraja Istriya Sarva Varanyante o bhire bhire. Mataji. Iti venuravam rajan sarvabhuta manoharam Shrutva vraja istriya sarva Varanyantyo abhire bhire. Iti, thus, Venuravam, the vibration of the flute. Rajan, O King Parikshit, Sarvabhuta, of all living beings. Manaharam, stealing the minds. Shrutva, hearing. Vraja Istriya, the ladies standing in the village of Vraj. Sarva, all of them. Varanyanteya, engaged in describing. Abhire bhire, embraced one another. All Matajis, you can come forward. Please come forward here. And Prabhus, please come forward here. Not many devotees, so we can sit together, so we can have a nice discussion. Thank you. Translation and purport by the sincere disciple of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, when the young ladies in Vraj heard the sound of Krishna's flute, which captivates the minds of all living beings, they all embraced each other, one another, and began describing it. Purport. The word iti here indicates that after becoming speechless by remembering Krishna, the cowherd damsels then regained their composure and were thus able to ecstatically describe the sound of Krishna's flute. As a few gopis began to exclaim, and the other gopis realized that they shared the same ecstatic love within their hearts. All of them started embracing one another, overwhelmed with conjugal love for young Krishna. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. O King, when the young ladies in Vraj heard the sound of Krishna's flute, which captivates the minds of all living beings, they all embraced one another and began describing it. Describing what? Describing the glories of Krishna's flute. This chapter title is The Gopis Glorify the Song of Krishna's Flute. Gopi Geet, very famous chapter and very famous verses in this beautiful canto 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the glories of Krishna flutes and the transcendental sound coming out of Krishna's flute is described vividly and very sweetly in this chapter. Anything and everything related to Krishna is a living being in the spiritual world. They all are conscious. Even flute is conscious. Krishna can talk to flute and flute can talk to Krishna. Krishna garland in spiritual world. Kartal, everything is living being there. Chaitanya, everything is conscious. That is the beauty of spiritual world. There's nothing such thing as jad padarth, nothing gross, everything is spiritual. So the glories of sound vibration coming from lips of Krishna is described here through the holes of flute. So we know we have senses. Normally we talk about 5 karma senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, and so on. So each sense has an object which sense gets attracted towards. So sound is received by ears. So what is the object of our ears? Sound. So sound is object of our ears. Just like scenic beauty is object of our eyes. So each sense has an object. But in our conditioned state, Prabhupada says we are conditioned souls. It's a very wonderful term Prabhupada derived. We never read or heard this term anywhere else other than Prabhupada books. Prabhupada invented many words when he was writing commentary on scriptures. One of the special words is conditioned soul. Nobody ever wrote this word or heard or read anywhere in any other book. Conditioned soul, it's a Prabhupada's favorite. Every second page you can read conditioned soul of this planet, conditioned soul of Kali Yuga. We are conditioned souls unless and until we become pure devotee of Krishna. So in our conditioning stage, which we are going through now, of course we are trying to become devotees by following the regulatory principles of Bhakti Yoga. But we must agree, we have some conditioning still left. So in conditioned state, jiva or living being, we are not attracted towards sounds of Krishna. Sound of Krishna through Krishna's lotus mouth, Krishna lips through flute, through Krishna's pure devotees narrating Leela of Krishna, through Krishna Kirtan, through chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So these all are Krishna's sounds. And that should be the object of our ears. If we want to decondition our conditioning, condition means what is not. When we lose our original state, that is called conditioning. Nowadays, people use shampoo and conditioner. Ladies appreciate that. Shampoo and conditioner, right? Brahmacharis don't know what is this. Easy life. They can take 3-minute shower. Other people need 20-minute shower because of long hair. Too much shampoo is consumed. Then they need conditioner. And what conditioner is doing? It conditions the state. It covers the originality of the original hair given by the nature. So conditioner makes your hair artificial for a few hours or few days to make it look a bit more beautiful, soft or straight or whatever. Right? So it is called conditioning. So when the conditioner effect is over, then originality comes out again. Ladies go to big saloons, spend hefty amount of money. What about ladies? Even gents go now. I just found out. Even gents are very fond of, manicure and pedicure and so many care, but not devotee care. Everything else is there. So they spend so much of money in doing conditioning, of getting straightening of hair. Curly people go to straighten the hair. Straight hair people go to make it curly. So everyone is running about madness of conditioning. So very rightly Prabhupada said, we are in conditioned state. So in conditioned state, we lose the attraction towards Krishna's sound, which is coming from his flute. And Rupa Goswami gave very good example, very famous example in nectar of instructions, Upadesha Amrita. What he talks about our conditioning, he gives a very, very big example. Anyone remembers what I'm going to quote? Rupa Goswami, famous example in our conditioning state. In Upadesha Amrita, jaundice, thank you very much. Very good. Jaundice. No, he says, the patient suffering from the disease called jaundice. What they call in Hindi? Pilia? Pilia. Pilia ki bimari, in jaundice. Doctor recommend the patient of jaundice to consume a bit more of sweet meat or sugarcane juice. That is very good for the patient of jaundice. But the patient suffering from jaundice, he loses the taste of his tongue. So you give him anything, sweet bite, sweet rice, or even sugarcane juice. He cannot relish the sweetness of sugarcane juice, which is very sweet, which is 100% sweet. Nothing else sugar. Sugarcane juice means 100% sugar. But he cannot taste sugar. He thinks it's a bitter juice. Kadwa. The bitterness is not because of there's a flaw or fault in sugarcane juice. The bitterness is caused by his conditioning state. He is conditioned. He has lost his originality. So he doesn't taste it. No, I don't like this. This is bitter. But doctor says, you must drink it. That is the remedy. That is the cure. That is the prescribed meal. You should take some sugarcane juice. So when he starts taking sugarcane juice, slowly, he regains his original condition, his original state of healthy body and healthy tongue. So he could have stopped drinking sweet juice, but that was the only cure to get back to his original state. So he was conditioned, just like we are conditioned. So similarly, Rupa Goswami explains in that analogy that when we take up process of hearing Krishna's sound in the initial state of our bhakti, because we are just like jaundice patient, we don't develop taste of Krishna's sound, of Krishna's flute, or Krishna's Mahamantra, or Krishna Katha. These all are Krishna's transcendental sound, vibrations. So we say, I don't like it, I don't like it. You asked me to chant and tried. I didn't find any bliss. So the problem is not in Krishna's sound. The problem lies with our conditioning state. So just like patient of jaundice, he must continue the process of consuming sweet items to get back the original taste of his tongue. Similarly, we, conditioned soul, we must continue taking the shelter of Krishna's sound vibrations, namely Krishna's Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And by chanting repeatedly, regularly, submissively, surely we will start coming to our original state, which is called deconditioning process. So through this deconditioning process, we can attain our original state of Satchit Anand, and we can relish the sweetness of Krishna's sound. And we all have experienced this in the beginning when we took up chanting, right? We never liked chanting. We never imagined a person like me could ever chant 16 rounds. No. I remember 32 years ago when I visited first time Iskcon temple and fortunately came in contact with wonderful devotees. And they all recommended me to take up chanting. And I thought, I'm a very busy man, and I'm a worldly party man, I have very good friends. We party a lot. Chanting doesn't fit in my personality. I am meant to live happy and have party and jump and dance in worldly things, I was thinking chanting means nothing else left in life, So I could never imagine. But after a few weeks, I took up chanting. I was not convinced. I chanted one round in my house after closing the room. So nobody should see me. Because I thought this japa mala in my hand doesn't suit my personality. I thought that. I'm too young. I'm a very successful corporate engineer, I'm living in one of the finest country, working in a very big American company, So I was puffed up with my material achievements. And I still remember when I chanted my first round, my wife, she was hiding and she made my video, At that time we had big video cameras, Sony, big video camera. She made my video just to capture the moment. Just look at this type of person can chant, who used to drink regularly, have friends and parties, and never, caught up with these things. I was forced to visit the temple actually. I was forced to visit Iskcon temple just once, So every devotee has a story, right? All of us, we have a story. Each one of us can write a book actually, how we became devotee. And I wish that we all should write our own journey. May not be a book, maybe an article or some essay, something we should write. Because more I speak to people how they became devotee, I enjoy bhakti yoga even more. And we all have a story. I have a story. We all have a story. How we became devotee. And it was purely by the mercy of Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who encouraged us to appreciate the sound of Krishna. There was a famous Hollywood movie, very old movie, No. It's old English Hollywood movie. I'm talking. I was a movie man at that time, so I remembered movies. The movie was Sound of Music. It's a very beautiful movie. You can watch with the family. It's good for children. Sound of Music. Very wonderful movie actually. So in that movie, it's a very musical movie. Normal English movies don't have songs. But this movie had many songs. The Sound of Music. The whole movie is surrounded by sound vibration of music. How music can uplift the mood. How music can become a therapy in your distress condition. How music can bind the family. How music can bring your children and spouse together. If you have some musical activity. It's a very wonderful movie. So I used to appreciate this movie. Watched with my family many times. But when I started chanting, then I could differentiate between spiritual sound, which is purifying, coming from Krishna's planet, Krishna's mouth, in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to this mundane material music, which may give us a little bit of happiness for a few moments. So this kirtan is fully Krishna's sound. Sometimes I find now in our Iskcon also, some kirtaniyas, to make the kirtan very fancy, they manufacture some new tunes. They like to play new tunes when they do kirtana. The fancy kirtaniyas, And they copy some Hindi song. Have you really? Do you see this? They sometimes try to take the same tune of very famous Hindi song, And then people like me, who used to watch so many movies, we remember all the old songs, The mind goes to the song. Straight away mind goes to that song, go to that movie, hero, heroine. And, we could go back to the cinemas. So personally, I don't like it. I prefer traditional kirtana. We don't have to copy movie songs. We have so many wonderful tunes already. And we can compose other tunes if we are a good musician. So we don't have to copy famous songs. And that is not very healthy. That takes away bliss of real sound of Krishna. It's a little bit dilute the intensity, the potency of that sound vibrations, In Chaitanya Charitamrita Anta Leela, chapter 17, verse 48, a very nice verse is described. I would like to read it actually, with your permission. And in that verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains the 4 wonderful beauties of Krishna's sound. Because today we are talking about Krishna's sound coming from Krishna flute. So I found this verse very appropriate for today's lecture from Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says, E Shabda Amritachari Yara Hai Bhagya Bhari Sai Karne Iha Kare Pana Iha Ye Nahi Shune Se Kana Janmila Kene Kana Kadi Samasi Kana. His translation is very wonderful. Only the most fortunate can hear these 4 nectarian sounds coming from Krishna. Only fortunate people can appreciate, especially the 4 sounds, nectarian sounds coming from Krishna. And which are the 4 sounds? Krishna's words. Krishna's words. From where we get Krishna's words? From Srimad Bhagavatam, which we are reading and hearing today, right? Or Bhagavad Gita. They are Krishna's word. Shri Ishopanishad says, these are apaurusha. These lipi, these words are apaurusha. Means it is not written or narrated by an ordinary purusha, ordinary man. It is apaurusha. It is beyond this creation. It is spiritual. It is sound of Krishna. That's why it's called apaurusha. So 4, one is, what is one? Krishna's word, coming from scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Then from Krishna's dress. Now we are waiting, when darshan will open, we'll see what Krishna is wearing today. What Krishna is wearing today. I want to see Krishna's dress. The sound come when Krishna walk, nicely dressed up. The sound come from Krishna's dress up, mainly from Krishna's ankle bells and Krishna's bangles. Krishna ankle bells and Krishna bangles is part of Krishna's dress up, Krishna's dressing. And third is Krishna's speech. When Krishna speaks, because technically our Acharya says, actually Krishna doesn't speak. What he does? Yes, thank you. He sings. That's the name of the book is Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavad Vacha. It could have been Bhagavad Vacha had Krishna speaks. But Krishna doesn't speak. He sings. He's a melodious person. He's fond of music. He's very melodious. He's very rhythmic. So he talks in a rhythm, in musical composition. So he sings. So this is called Krishna's speech. When Krishna speaks something, Krishna is speaking to Uddhava, to Arjuna, to Yudhishthira, to Bhishma, to Duryodhana, to Vidur. So Krishna speaks. So those words are also composed in scriptures. So they are nectarian words, purifying. So that is also Krishna's sound. So we have 3 sounds already, right? And what is number 4 sound given in this verse? Krishna's 4th sound, loudly. Yes, what we are talking today, Krishna's flute. Venu, it's called Venu Gita. Venu Gita, this chapter. The 4th is Krishna's flute. So these are Krishna's 4 transcendental, purifying, very spiritual sound. So this chapter is the real sound of music. This is sound of music coming from Krishna flute. And the translation explain that only Yara hai bhagya bhari, only bhagyashali people, only the fortunate people can hear these four sounds, or they like to hear these four sounds, and they appreciate Krishna's primarily these four sounds. Only bhagyashali. So you all are very fortunate, actually, very fortunate souls who come every day to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, or you chant at your home or a temple. No, that is also taking the shelter and taking the bliss out of Krishna's nectarian sound vibrations. And then further this verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that, but after attaining that human form and beautiful ears, if one does not develop the taste to hear Krishna's sound, his ears are not worthy. He is not justifying having ears and this body. His ears are compared to Kana Kadi Samasi Kana. Kana Kadi. Small conch shells on the beach of ocean. Small conches with holes inside. Kana. Kana is small conch. Kadi. Hole. Kana Kadi Sama. It's equal to Sama. Saman. Ikana. These ears which have not developed the taste or appreciate Krishna's nectarian sound are compared to small conch shell with hole. With hole means with fault. They cannot blow. They are not used. Nobody will pick it. Nobody can sell it. Nobody can buy that. We have a nice conch shell. It blows. But if it is full of holes, the sound will go away. We won't get sound. The small conch shell with faulty holes have no values. So they are compared to our ears. Our ears also have holes, but they are meant to hear sound of Krishna. And ears deprived from sound of Krishna are compared to just useless little conch shell found on the beaches with holes. Nobody picks them. Everyone is looking for conch shells with no fault, no faulty ears or holes. So that's how this Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. So when we hear Krishna's sound in the form of kirtan, or while chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or by hearing Krishna's nectarian words or speech from scriptures, we naturally develop taste of kirtana. Kirtana means glorifying. And this chapter, the Venu Geet, this chapter 21 of the 10th canto is example of the first, up to this verse today, 6. Up to number 6, gopis are hearing through their ears the glories of Venu. Now after hearing intensely and submissively glories of sounds coming from Krishna's Venu, gopis develop the taste of kirtana, glorifying. From tomorrow, from next verse number 7, we are going to hear gopis glorifying Venu now. Till chapter 6, verse 6, 1 to 6, Sukadeva Goswami is glorifying sound coming from Venu of Krishna to Parikshit Maharaj. So first 6 verses are hearing, they are hearing. Gopis are hearing glories of Venu. Now they cannot stop. They want to glorify Krishna's sound because they were here submissively, sufficiently. Now they heard about Gopi Geet, sound coming from Krishna's Venu, so sweet, melodious, nectarian. They cannot stop themselves. Now they want to start speaking glories from next verse 7 to 19. Next 13 verses, gopis are going to glorify sound of Venu, sound of Krishna. Venu Geet, they are going to sing Venu Geet now. in next 13 verses. And then the last verse of chapter, which is verse number 20, that gives us encouragement and satisfaction that we are on the right track. Because the last verse, verse number 20 of this chapter will speak about Samaranam. That if we become sincere in just hearing sound of Krishna, surely we will develop the taste of glorifying Krishna through chanting His names offenselessly and reading His books and speaking His katha, leelas and stories to others. We'll develop surely, just like gopis developing taste of kirtana now. And if we consistently take up the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, hearing the sound of Krishna and speaking about sound of Krishna, we will go to the third stage of Bhakti Yoga, which is Samaranam, remembering of Krishna, which is very high state. So gopis are going to demonstrate. So gopi will become very expert teachers and preachers in this chapter. Some people say gopis never went to any school. They never read any scriptures. They never took up the process of formal chanting like all of us. They had no knowledge about yagyas. Right? From material point of view, gopis were not very literate or educated. But Krishna treated them the topmost, the purest devotee. And we also trying to take the shelter of the lotus feet of gopis and taking dust from their lotus feet. We aspire to get Krishna pure devotion someday or one day. So, worldly point of view, gopis were not educated. But they are becoming first class preachers and teachers in this chapter. They are going to demonstrate by taking up the process of hearing about Krishna. Surely one can develop taste of chanting about Krishna. And then third stage will surely come. Gopis are going to demonstrate through their experiential knowledge. That is the best preaching, through our practice. The best preaching is through our practice, through our behavior, through our own example. If some devotee is practicing Krishna conscious very nicely and is dealing with devotees very expertly with humility and sweetness and relationship, even before he starts giving class, his class is super hit already. His class is successful already because his preaching is done already through his behavior, through his own practice. Does it make sense? On the second hand, on the other part, one devotee is not practicing Krishna consciousness nicely. He is not dealing with devotees with love and affection and with humility. But he tries to prepare a very nice class, very fancy class, speaks heavy verses from scriptures, make a very good presentation, show on a big screen, and give very good examples, very nice stories, crack some good jokes, make people laugh. But that is not going to affect the consciousness of listeners because he himself is not practicing. So he's not going to touch the hearts of listeners. So gopis are demonstrating. And similarly, we see many devotees come to Iskcon, they join Iskcon. From worldly point of view, they are not very educated sometimes, They may not have gone to school or college. But after coming to Iskcon, after taking up the process of hearing and chanting, they come very soon, quickly they come to the stage of Samaranam. They always remember about Krishna. They become very good practitioners of Krishna consciousness. Then they become very good preachers. They become very good managers and leaders. But they don't have very big degrees from worldly point of view. So that we can learn from gopis' lifestyle, By taking a bhakti yoga, Krishna gives us all the required qualities which are required to go back to Godhead. and to take others go back to Godhead. Krishna give us all the strength, capabilities, qualities, just by taking up this process seriously. In chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, the whole chapter is called the chapter of remembering Krishna. How to remember Krishna. And the glorification of process of remembering Krishna is described in the entire chapter of the chapter number 8 of Bhagavad Gita. What is the importance of remembering Krishna during life, at the time of death? And Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, many times in his purport in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, he writes Hare Krishna Mahamantra complete by taking up the process of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One can surely remember Krishna in this life and at time of death. Repeatedly Prabhupada writes this Hare Krishna Mahamantra full. Sometimes some people write short, but just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can go back to God. Prabhupada doesn't stop there. If you remember, especially in verse number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Prabhupada writes so many times complete Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And in Hindi book, I find some fault, because Hindi books were translated later on by Prabhupada's disciples and BBT, great Sanskrit scholars. So there are some little defects we can find in Hindi. In Hindi Bhagavad Gita, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra was not written in full form, because the translator must have thought, why to increase the length of this book? It is okay, reader will understand. Just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can develop remembrance, state of remembrance. But in English Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes full Mahamantra. But then I realized the latest edition of Hindi book, they have corrected that mistake. Now in latest Hindi book also, we can find the complete Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because BBT must have realized flaw. So that's why Prabhupada wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. Means he indicated already, don't change anything. But still sometime in translation, few little things got changed. But many people cannot comprehend to the philosophy given in Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. And one disciple asked Prabhupada question, Prabhupada, I am not very intelligent. I don't understand Srimad Bhagavatam. I like to come for daily morning class. I like your lectures. But I am not very intellectual. I really don't understand philosophical point, philosophical principles, Siddhanta from Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Prabhupada gave very good example of an illiterate Brahmana from South India, the place called Rangakshetra, sitting on the stairs of Ranganath temple and reading Bhagavad Gita every day. He didn't know how to read Bhagavad Gita, but he knew the power of sound of Krishna. He wanted to derive benefit of nectarian words coming from sound of Krishna through his Gita, Bhagavad Gita. So he was reading Bhagavad Gita every day and he was crying. But he didn't know how to read. He didn't know any word. And sometimes he would pick Bhagavad Gita on reverse, ulta pulta, But he would read. Whatever. Incorrectly he was pronouncing Sanskrit words. And one day, Lord Chaitanya visited Rangakshetra. He met that Brahmana. He was very happy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also cried and he embraced, just like these ladies of Raj in this verse we read. They were embracing each other. Ladies of Raj, gopis, when they heard sound coming from Krishna's flute, when Krishna was entering Vrindavan, they was out of joy. They thought it is a festival. In festival, you know what we do? We embrace each other. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, happy Janmashtami, Hare Krishna, Mataji is also dancing together. Hare Krishna. We embrace each other out of festivity, mood of festivity. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced that Brahmana. He said, why are you embracing me? I am not even worthy to be touched by such a saintly person like you. He said, no. I appreciate, in spite of your difficult situation, you are trying to surrender to the sounds of Krishna. He said, but why are you doing this when you don't know how to read? The Brahmana answered, my Guru ordered me to read Bhagavad Gita daily. I don't know how to read, but I am obeying the orders of my Guru. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became even happier. He embraced him tightly. He said, you are actually Gyata of this Gyan of Bhagavad Gita. Actually, you are the possessor of complete knowledge coming from Bhagavad Gita. He said, that I understand that you are reading because you are trying to obey the order of your spiritual master. But why are you crying? He said, when I look at the title page, picture on this book, Krishna is driving chariot of his devotee Arjuna. He is becoming driver, Sarthi. He took up so humble and small position. He is driving chariot, wrath of his devotee. I cannot hold on to my tears. Then I cry. That what? I knew Krishna is merciful. How much merciful is my Lord Krishna? I look at this picture of Partharthi and I cannot stop crying. And Mahaprabhu said, actually you understood the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. And then Prabhupada gave this example and he told that person, he said, don't worry if you can't understand Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. I have given you book Krishna. You should read Krishna book. It will give you the same benefit of Bhagavatam and no Sanskrit verses, no big philosophy, no big Siddhanta. I gave in a story form. Many temples in Iskcon world, I know, they read Krishna book. They read Krishna book few days before Janmashtami to set the mood of Janmashtami. Every day they read Krishna book. They keep, I know some temple, they keep this book stand and small, asana at some corner of the temple. So anyone, who is visiting temple, they can read. There's a page mark, they can read, They complete Krishna book. They start from, I think, Balram Purnima and go till Krishna Janmashtami. Every day they're reading Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book. It is for everyone, Even people visiting public can understand Krishna book. So Prabhupada trying to give nectarian sound vibration to each conditioned soul. People who cannot understand Bhagavatam, no problem, they can read Krishna book. They don't know how to read, they can hear. They come here and just hear Krishna sounds. Time up actually. Thank you very much for so much attentive listening, and please forgive me for my all the faults in this class. So if you have any comment or corrections, you can do that. Or we can take a few questions if time allows. Yes. Hare Krishna. You can keep sitting. One at a time. Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Dharma Pranam. The four things,
Yes.
I like it. But I have one query I would like to ask to you. When you do chanting, that time so many lot of calls, lot of unavoidable calls. So that time, how to focus on chanting? My first question.
Yeah. So let's deal with your first question. It's an important question. When we take up chanting, so many unwanted calls ring.
Exactly.
What time you chant?
Every day.
What
8
time in the
hours.
morning? What time?
Morning at early in the
What
morning.
time?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. Your phone start ringing after 7 a.m.? What time it start ringing?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. So what should you do?
Vibrate the phone or silent the phone.
So you should start chanting before your phone start ringing. If you know your lifestyle is such that your phone start ringing after 8 a.m., you are an intelligent man. So you should finish your chanting before phone start ringing, which is your 8 a.m., okay? So then there will be no disturbance.
One more question. Second question. If someone give you any work,
Work, yes.
any seva, so that time when I do work in MS Excel sheet. So in that time also,
You're talking about your office duties?
office,
Yes.
so that time, lot of calls, I ignore it.
Yes.
But I cannot focus on one thing at the same time. So
Why are you chanting in your office? Office is meant to work.
not chanting, I do work.
Yes.
So that time, lot of people disturbing me. So that time, I don't control my self control.
But you have a mobile phone and you have given your number to so many people. So what do you expect? So they are going to call you. You have a phone. So why you get angry when it rings?
Okay, last question.
Why you have to? This is your phone. Somebody is calling you for a business in your office time. So you have to take up the call. So there's a chanting time. There's an office time. There's a family time. So we can't mix up these times. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any question or
Prabhuji,
comment?
thank you.
Yes, please.
Prabhuji, out of these four kind of sounds, of
Sounds.
Lord Krishna, what is the chanting? Which sound? Which category it is? Like it is part of Shastra. It is part
Yes,
of Krishna's
it's Krishna's words
words.
coming from Kali Sankirtana Puran and many other Puran recommend this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's Krishna's word coming from scripture, coming from Golok Vrindavan. So we are relishing sounds in the form of Krishna's words coming from the spiritual word. And we take shelter, sound of music, Krishna's music. Anyone else? Any comment from Rohini Dulal Prabhu, Krishna Govind Prabhu, Senior Vaishnava sitting, Radhika Prabhu? So thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Samasta Vaishnava Vrinda ki,
Jai.
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.